Another sneaky right hand. This time he works over the shoulder of Foreman. This is a combination. 3, 4, 5, 6. Foreman gets up to the knee. 8. That's it. The fight is stopped.
And he fell into a pallet depression afterwards, didn't he, George Foreman? Didn't really recover till he invented the grill, really. He's just absolutely shell-shocked and gobsmacked. There is no one better in the world to talk about this, to talk about any kind of boxing, especially heavyweight boxing, Muhammad Ali and the whole history of, than our man James Smitty Smith, who joins us from Vegas. James, we spoke about a month ago about the thriller in Manila. Well, this preceded that.
Yeah, the Rumble in the jungle, Kinshasa, Zaire, the Belgian Congo. I remember being writing for my school paper at the time and doing a report of how I thought Ali would win in round number 8. And the article came out right before the fight, and I became a soothsayer, if you will. And I remember spending some time with Ali prior to that fight at the Fifth Street Gym, and he was so confident. But I tell you what, there weren't just people worried about Ali losing the fight and George Foreman winning, but there were people worried about Ali coming out of the fight alive, because you got to remember, when you look at what Foreman had done to Joe Frazier, knocked him out in 2 rounds, 6 times he put him down, and then knocked him out the second time they would fight. Ken Norton he destroyed and knocked him out in 2 rounds. Norton had fought Ali 3 times, breaking his jaw, defeating him 1 time. The other 2 fights were razor close, and everybody knows about the 3 epic fights with Joe Frazier. Ali loses the first. The second one goes the distance. Ali wins the third one, the thrill in Manila. So if you put this on paper, Foreman's going to destroy Ali, right? Wrong. Ali comes up with the rope-a-dope, and Foreman punches himself out. Ali hangs in there and takes all the shots and delivers the coup de grace in round number 8 and, regains the heavyweight title, becoming only the second guy in boxing history at the time to do so as a heavyweight.
Ali Boumaier, When We Were Kings, that documentary, one of the greatest ever.
Yeah, and just the whole way that Don King would be able to go over there and literally orchestrate something like that. And you said it great. I mean, I was watching the fight with a young lady the other day. Was really young. And you're not going to hear that story on this broadcast.
No, I do. Okay. Well, no.
Well, that's what I do. Listen, this is what I do with young chicks. I get together and I recap history with them. And anyway, I was explaining to her just what you said, that had the fight been delayed at all, there would have been no fight that night, because the rains came afterwards and the whole stadium was washed out. But they were able to get it in, and it really, I mean, rope-a-dope has now become a fashionable phrase in boxing and even in sport. And Ali, much to the chagrin of Angelo Dundee, his trainer, kind of invented that on the spot. And I think he invented it not because he was some great strategist. I think he had no other choice. I mean, he told me that the punches that Foreman hit him with, I mean, he couldn't even raise his arms the next day. He was urinating blood. So, this is part and parcel why Ali's in the condition he's in today, because Foreman, can you imagine sitting there against the ropes and letting a guy like George Foreman pummel you for almost nearly the full 8 rounds? It just was unbelievable that he was able to endure that. And Foreman would find out and do something amazing. He would realize he can't spend his energy like that. And when he did come back over a decade later, he was able to go 12 rounds and so, because he learned to relax and not punch himself out.
Beautifully said, James. As I said, the only person, really the perfect person to talk to about this, a historian, a lover of the sport. 12-2 it is. Greg Martin. Oh, quickly on the rugby. You're going to be watching it, James?
I leave for Kunming, China tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I will be sitting with Ming Lee and her stepsister, Seng Chai, in my room, in my knickers, in Kunming, China, watching the rugby and explaining it to these 2 young girls from China. Because I like to do this. I like to explain sports to people.
It's called Wang Fun, isn't it, James?